So hello guys, welcome to my new video. So in this video we're gonna talk about Python programming and some terms related to Python programming. So in this video we're gonna just clear about some key concept and some key terms which we have to know uh, when we are starting our part to the Python programming. So first terms is verbose syntax. So what is really means verbose syntax? It is a way of writing code or instruction that are more detailed or explicit than necessary. Okay. In verbose syntax, additional words or elements are included to make the code easier to read and understand, often at the expense of uh, conciseness. Okay, this can be helpful for clarity, especially for beginners or in complex code, but it can also make the code longer and more uh, cumbersome. For example, in Python, you can compare a concise syntax to verbose one. For example, this is a concise syntax. For example, if a is greater than b, then you have to print a is greater. Okay. In verbose syntax, if a is greater than b, then print a is greater than b. So in verbose syntax, what we printing is that a is greater than b. We writing the whole the way output in more elaborate way. Okay, more detailed way. So this is called verbose syntax. Okay, in which we write code or instruction in more detailed way. It is simply is known as verbose syntax. Now second thing is that what really source code. Okay, again and again we know this term source code, source code, source code. What really is source code? Source code is nothing. It is a human readable instruction written by a programmer using a programming language. It contains logic and functionality of program or software. It is written in a language such as Python, Java, C++, etc. Source code needs to translated, compile or interpreted into machine code so that computer can execute it. For example, uh, a simple source code in Python, for example, print is equal to hello world. So when this program run, it tell the computer to display the message hello world on screen. This example of source code which is understandable to human but need to process by computer to perform a desired action. Okay, the source code is nothing. It is a program code which really do the work. Okay, now interpreted language in interpreted languages. So what is a interpreted language? Source code process line by line interpreted C Python. So basically C Python module do the interpretation. What really interpretation means that in Python there is compilation. Definitely there is compilation of code, but uh, not the way in other programming language. For example, in C or C++, what happen is that there is compilation of code to the .exe subpart. Okay, in .exe uh, file. So one what happen is there that .exe can run in any computer. It not has to be just run by any other software or any other platform is be needed. Okay, but in Python the code is converted to bytecode. In bytecode it only run by Python virtual machine. Okay, if there is Python virtual machine, then only bytecode is being able to run. Otherwise bytecode is not able to run. Okay, so this is the main differences. Now source code process. So in Python there is an interpreter. So what it do is that it convert it into machine readable instruction, execute them immediately. Okay, this allow for dynamic behavior and easy debugging, but it can be slow compared to compiled language. So in compiled language it convert it all in one go, but as you know, interpreter convert it to bytecode. Then in bytecode is being converted to machine code or machine in low level language, or on binary language 0 and 1 by Python virtual machine. Then it has been seen in our uh, desktop. Okay, so Python interpreter call as C Python. This is the name of Python interpreter. Now fourth one is dynamic behavior in Python. So ability of language to make decision, allocate resources and modify behavior during runtime. uh, any language ability to make decision or allocate resources and modify behavior during runtime rather than at compile time like in statically typed language such as C++. It's called as dynamic behavior. Okay, Python is often called a dynamically typed and interpreted language, which means that many of its operation decisions are made as program run, making it flexible and adaptive. Okay, now fifth point is runtime. Runtime refers to period during which a Python program is running or executing. Okay, it begins when when program run and ends when program finishes execution. So runtime refer to period during which a Python program is running or executing. It begins with when program start and run, uh, when program finishes execution. So it is a time interval till the time you execute the code and till the time it end. All that time is count on the runtime. Okay, during runtime, Python interpreter process source code. It processes source code, perform tasks like memory allocation, function call, executing logic, written in code, and some few points which have to be noted. That runtime environment refer to setup where Python program is executed, which include the Python interpreter libraries and system resources like memory and CPU. It is called as runtime environment. Okay, in runtime environment, all the process, all the things are done. And second point is runtime error. Error that occur while program is running is called as runtime error. Okay, now fifth point, overhead. So overhead refer to additional resources such as time, memory, or processing power required to perform a task beyond basic operations needed to execute the core functionality. Overhead is a cost incurred by program or system due to extra processing or resources that are not directly related to main task. Okay, so these are called as overhead. Some common types of overhead in programming, for example, time overhead. This refer to extra time required for tasks like setting up an environment, managing memory, or performing checks during execution. For example, if you use a high level programming language, for example Python, it may have more time overhead compared to lower level language like C, because Python needs to do extra work like dynamic type checking and garbage collection. So time overhead means the extra time you are investing, uh, refer to extra time required for tasks like setting up an environment, managing memory. As you know that in Python there is not dynamic there is not static typing, there is dynamic typing checking. So basically in dynamic type checking, you don't have to explicitly uh, define the type integer or float, etc, etc. Just you basically allocate the variable, the data you have to just allocate. But it also have so much disadvantage because Python has to actually do extra work. Because of that, Python program speed gets slower. Second thing is that garbage collection. As you know that Python is automatically collect the garbage, not same in C or C++, because there you have to just uh, garbage collection has to be do manually in your code. So these are some extra thing. Because of that, time overhead is being there. Like also there is a memory overhead, which means that this is the extra memory used by program due to things like storing additional data structure, runtime metadata, object differences, etc, or memory management features like garbage collection. Okay, for instance, a program written in high level language might require more memory to store extra information compared to one written in the low level language. Okay, so if a program is written in low level language, then you have to uh, allocate less memory because it is more in binary, more connected to the low level language, or to the binary language or to machine language. But when you write the code in high level language, then more memory is being required, because now you have to convert your code to byte code. Then this byte code is converted by Python virtual machine to the machine language. So it takes time. Okay, now system overhead. This includes resources consumed by the operating system or runtime environment. For example, running a virtual machine or container introduce overhead in terms of CPU and memory consumption. For example, in Python, we're gonna use the Python virtual machine. So Python virtual machine definitely gonna use the CPU extra, memory, uh, also gonna use the RAM. So these are also included in that. Now an exponent algorithm overhead. Sometimes an algorithm introduced overhead in term of efficiency due to factor like increased computational complexity or extra operation. For example, using a recursive algorithm might add overhead because of the function call stack and memory usage. Okay, so as the complexity increases, so that the processing power has to be increases. Okay, if processing power not increases, only complexity is increases, then it gonna slow your speed of your computation, because complexity threshold do the extra weightage on your processing power. It always been there. Okay, now 6 point is a Python IDE, integrated development environment. So is a software application that provide comprehensive tool for writing, debugging and running Python code. It integrates multiple functionality that make coding in Python more efficient and more easier by offering features like code editing, syntax highlighting, debugging, automation of common tasks. So Python IDE is basically nothing. It is a built-in software in which you can do the debugging or run the Python code without any problem. Okay. Now key features: it has code editor, a dedicated space to write and edit Python code with features like auto completion, syntax highlighting, or error detection. It has been there. Now it also has debugger, allow you to step through your code to find and fix bugs by running it line by line, examine variables and checking the program flow. Then third point is interpreter integration. Many IDE come with built-in Python interpreter, so you can run the code directly within the IDE without switching to terminal or command prompt. Next thing is that project management. Organize files and resources for larger Python project, help you manage multiple files and dictionaries. Other things, the integrated testing tools. Some IDE provide built-in tools to run tests and check the correctness uh, of your code, especially useful for larger projects. Version control integration. There is the most modern IDE that offer integration with Git and other version control system, making it easier to track your changes in your code and collaborate with others. So some popular Python IDEs like PCharms, Visual Studio Code, Spider, Jupyter Notebook, Thorny, and Ideally. So these are some popular Python IDE. If in exam any question came that is PyCharm is Python IDE, yeah, it definitely is. So these are some things you have to be noted in your mind when attempting a question, and it's gonna be helpful. Also, when you are starting a Python coding, these key points are be necessary, because it definitely shape your mind and build your concepts related to the Python. Because as I say that it's just not important to learn the coding, it's also important to learn the concepts. Okay, because as you question yourself that why this is, why this is and why that is, as many questions you ask to yourself while reading your books or while reading anything related to Python or any other programming language, your depth or your knowledge is being enhanced. Because definitely these key points, these terms are very important. If you not know these terms, it gonna problem you while you are learning Python or any other language. Because at the end of the day, okay, the matter, what matters the most is that you know the terms, you know the meaning, you know the what you are learning. Because if there is something like from childhood, there is habits in most children's, I mean most students, is that they don't ask question, even they not know the answer, even they not don't know the concept very well, or even they have some doubt in their mind, they never ask question, because they think uh, what if we ask question and we not get the answer, and also get scolded by the teacher. But this is not the right way to go through the life, or go through the any exam, or go through any way. Okay, if you're not getting answer, you have to be persistence. If teacher is not giving answer, you have to go on internet and search there. If even not searching, not got answer in internet, you have to go through the books and got your answer in through books. Okay, but you have to do everything you can do, so that you got your answer. You can ask to teacher, you can ask to your student, you can ask to anybody, okay, whom you can ask. But you have to get your answer, you have to clear your doubts. Otherwise you never gonna learn any language in your life. this is guaranteed, because on upper level you think that you got the meaning, you got the term, but deep down you are not knowing anything, and you're just wasting your time. So this is the my take uh, in it. And thank you for watching my video. We're gonna meet you from in next video. Till then, see you, tata, bye bye, thank you.